I've got a laptop now as well, so well, a new laptop.
Oh,
But so I'll be
nice.
even more clued into everything. Um, Let me just make sure my stream's up and shared, and then we can get going. Oh, it's starting to
Alrighty.
darken.
Once Sumo's stream is up, everyone who's in my chat, um, I will be switching to being onboard camera, and the main dynamic commentary view will be on Sumo's channel. So head over to
Sure.
there. It's sumo_Gilligon.
Hell yes. And it's up and it's shared. So hello everybody. This is tier two. We're back after a week's hiatus. And yeah, we had a great season last time out, didn't we, guys?
We did, we did. I'm just going to tell everyone to ready up. But yeah, what a season we had last time out. Tinoz ran away with the Drivers' Championship in the end, but the Constructors' Championship could have gone down to the wire if not for a defining moment in the Italian Grand Prix, which I think we all still remember very well. With the two Red Bulls looking to take the Constructors off AlphaTauri, crashing at turn one and taking themselves both nearly out of the race and losing all the points that they needed. So, yeah, hopefully we can have a good battle again this season. Of course, APPF1 has changed from a assist-based tiers to pace-based tiers. So, in theory, Tier 2 should be very competitive this season, except for Madman, but we'll get back to him in a minute because just some things to clarify about Madman's appearance in Tier 2.
Yes, but we got a new season. We got a few new drivers in. We got Tinoz, our new defending champion. Wait, Tinoz isn't here actually. No, he's gone over to Tier One. So
Yeah,
it's a new champion altogether. I think we no
it
one
is.
in here who has won the championship before. So it's anyone's game.
Absolutely. It's I reckon JBS Steve, Pommy Alex, Crozer 17 will be the names you'll see near the top of the timing sheets. Maybe Tier might get up there as well
Yeah,
during
Tier on his
some
day is
points.
very
Yeah.
quick. Watch out for him in wet races. It looks like we could well have this evening. It's looking very cloudy for qualifying at the moment, but it is very deceiving. The game, you can never truly tell unless you're one of the drivers, which I'm sure they will post in the one of our chats if it is indeed a wet race. But
hmm
we're at China this week. Very tricksy circuit, fairly open plane. But it has a lot of tricky corners, especially that turn 11, 12, 13 complex and the complex of turns 1, 2 and 3. I think there'll be a lot of action going down in towards turn 15 as well. Very long straight with a very powerful DRS zone, and the slipstream is incredibly strong around here. That's all I can really say about China, but I will say thank you again to our sponsors, Positive Perception Media Design Products, who continue to sponsor Tier 2 throughout most of its time on APPF1. If you like car liveries and that are both real life and on GT cars, then please do go check out their socials and give them all the love and support you show us over here.
Yeah, I do have some news for you, Sumo.
Oh,
It's I'm gonna quote Muhiti in the Discord chat. He says, "Why rain, bro?"
there it is. It's the rain.
So apparently it's going to be a dry to wet race.
Oh,
So going to be very exciting. Changeable conditions. Anything can happen. First race of the
yes,
season. It's brutal.
it certainly is. But we'll see who exactly is the cream of the crop in qualifying before we head to the race. And if I do one more thing, I should be completely set up. And I've done the wrong thing.
Hartman says the rain is light and late in the race, so
Light
it
and
might
late.
not come at all, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
certainly
but
a possibility.
Yeah. While you're getting sorted out, I'm just going to clarify some things about Madman Ollie Oliver,
Go
because
for it.
some of you might be wondering why is this man still in Tier 2, given that we've moved all the faster drivers, I should say. Everyone in this tier is fast, but the faster drivers have all gone up to Tier 1. Why is the guy who was arguably the fastest of them all still here? The answer is because he can't race on Fridays. And because he's a legacy member of APPF1, we've given him a deal, basically, a deal with the devil. He can still race in Tier 2 when he wants to, but he's a reserve driver, so he won't score Drivers' Championship points and he won't be in the championship fight. And also, if he adversely affects the championship or takes anyone out or makes any silly moves, I'm sure he won't, but if he does, then that position might be taken away. So that's the deal with Madman. He says he's going to do last to first today, so that could be interesting to watch. But really, for the Drivers' Championship, we're watching everyone but the man in the Aston Martin.
Yeah, certainly. So, as TTV Max on this hot lap goes for a spin at turn 11, that sequence that I said was tricky and has proven so. So we ride on board with the Alfa Romeo of Mahiti, as he's going to be the first to complete a lap, as long as he doesn't invalidate or make any errors here. I do have to say a big apology to Stingray. I did say I was going to write up a little season predictions for him over the last week, and I just haven't found the time to do it. I will try and get that done probably on Thursday. I've got a day off, so I'll actually have time to sit down and do some stuff. But the lowdown of it, as Mahiti comes across the line, he had a little mistake with it very deep into turn 15, so it's not going to be a very quick lap time. But there'll be some strong contenders out there. Red Bull are going to be one to watch, as they were last season. But another team to watch, I think, could be Tier and TTV Max. TTV Max can be very mistake prone, but he has found a lot of pace in his time racing with us at APPF1 as Tier comes across the line to set a competitive lap time of 32.2.
Yeah, not bad from Tier. He's certainly, I think, going to be more at home in Tier 2. Tier 1, he was sort of struggling to get in the top 10 most of the time. But I think Tier 2, he'll be a lot more at home, and he'll be perhaps fighting for podiums, which would be fantastic to see, because we all love Tier. He's been here, I mean, he's approaching 100 APPF1 races.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Old guard.
Yes, absolutely.
And to talk of old guard, we've actually got some new members of the Tier 2 Racing Championship at the moment. Look out for Mr. J-Man in the orange McLaren. We have Captain Nibs and Arbelly in the Haas cars. And I think that's everybody who's new to the community. And it's the largest QB set to 135.5, putting him in P5. The only Alpine driver at the moment, I believe.
Yeah, QB's teammate Scott Rowley, unfortunately unable to make the race today. But I mean, what a start to the season we've got soon. 16 drivers, and we are missing 2, so it could have been 18, which is fantastic. Given that just a few days ago it looked like we would have 14 drivers in Tier 2 maximum. So it's been great to see a few new members coming in and a few more people joining, and it's set up to be a fantastic season, as I think LB is going to be one to watch. I've been running on board with him. It's been a decent lap so far as he comes into the final corner.
Yeah, he's come around the final corner. That final corner, you can gain or lose a lot of time. It can be very, very tricky. LB just switched over to wheel, so he might not be as fast as he was last season, but let's see where it's going to put him. It's going to put him up into P3. That's a respectable time from the Red Bull driver. We've got Mahiti going P3, joining his teammate up in the top 3 there. That's great, and I think JBS Steve just set a lap time on medium tyres of 33.7.
Yeah, so JBS Steve, as I said, one to watch, and that's a brilliant lap on the mediums. I believe it's around 1.2 seconds, the difference between the 2 tyre compounds. But I think this just goes to show, actually, how good Tier's lap was. He's still on pole position at the moment. Yeah,
he certainly is. Tier will be one to watch for this championship, I think. He is very quick on his day. I mean, I don't like to brag about how quick I am, but he's around the same pace as me on most days. So he is one to watch out there for sure. But I think Red Bull have got a point to prove this season, as last season they were in a battle all the way to the end, and just bad luck really hampered them all season long.
Yeah, it certainly did. They, well, I mean, it definitely bad luck, and sometimes not being able to make the races harmed them as well. But I think what they're really going to think about, they were less than 20 points off. I think they were around 14 points off winning the championship. That crash in Monza is going to be still on their mind. So they'll be hoping to rectify and put the wrongs right this season.
So I'm just trying to find somebody out on the lap. I don't know if there's anybody. Hartman on a lap.
Who is on a lap, so...
Oh, there we go. We'll follow Hartman then as he comes down. We'll look at that sector time. It's a 24.5. This is his first lap, so we won't going to tell too much from it. Turn 5 can be very tricky if you get the braking all sorts of wrong, but Hartman seems to have got it very much right here. Here's a tricky, twisty section for you. That braking zone here comes up on you quite quickly, and then you've got to really commit to these two corners here, turns 9 and 10, to get the best run. Turn 11, very tricky on the exit. If you get it all sorts of wrong, it will spin you around. It's just like turn 11, well, the old turn 11 technically of Spain, but it still exists in this iteration of the game. Very hard to know when to get the power down for turn 12, but Hartman manages to navigate that corner well. You can really gain a lot of time if you get it just right, as it sets you up for this really long straight that's going to take you all the way down to one of the heaviest braking zones on the circuit as you're coming down here at almost 200 miles an hour. And we've seen a lot of action down here. Remember back to I think it was 2019, 2018, when Seb Vettel and Verstappen came together.
Yeah, absolutely. Here comes Hartman across the line. It's decent. It's P3 for the Williams driver. The man who we didn't think would even be here this season. He said he was hanging up his wheel and pedals and was going to stop league racing. But here he is again, back racing in Tier 2. So it's great to see him here. Tier has gone a little bit faster through Sector 1.
I think Captain Nibs is on a decent lap. It's a good challenge. Maybe not so much, actually. I was getting a bit too excited, but he's on the medium tyre.
Well, it's P11 for now for the Haas, which is strategic pole. As we know, Tier is 1.5 tenths faster through Sector 2. So he could set even more pace here. Pole position in Tier 1 last Friday was a 30.9. I reckon pole position here will be in the 31s, probably in the mid to high 31s. So Tier looking to go into the 31s with this lap, but he's not going to do it. Going deep into the hairpin like that, that's going to lose him all the time in the world. And I don't think he will improve. Yeah, he's backed off and he's going into the pits.
Yeah,
but SW is improving.
We've got a Ferrari coming along. I think that's Stingray. I think he's going to be coming into the pits as well. But SW then, one half of the Williams team from last season, he's going into the pits as well. How about Mahiti? So Mahiti's on an outlap. We've got a Red Bull out who's on an outlap as well. So we're halfway through the session. I think these are the second runs for most of the drivers out there today. So we'll wait and see what's happening along with that. Let's see anybody else. Pommy Alex finally venturing out onto the circuit. Mr. P5 from last season. Mr. J-Man out on circuit again as well. Teammate Yusuf, who didn't have the best of starts to his Tier 2 career last season, but maybe now that he's out of that Ferrari, he might have some better luck. But we do know the curse of the McLaren cars from a couple seasons ago. That could well come back.
Indeed. LB was about 1.5 tenths up through Sector 1. He's on the medium tyres, of course, so he's not going to be challenging for pole, I don't think. But yeah, the alternate strategy could work out here. Usually it's... the game tells you it's a 2-stop. You can definitely do a 1-stop, as LB goes 3 tenths faster through Sector 2, so he's on a great lap here. Could go into the top 5 on mediums, which would be brilliant for the Red Bull.
Yeah, it certainly would. It'll get him well up there. It'd be one of I think the highest medium runner of everyone. SW is going to come out on medium tyres, I think.
Yeah, it would be the highest medium runner, so Here he comes up to the hairpin. Maybe a little bit tentative on the brakes, but you can excuse that when you're 3/10 up on a lap. You don't want to ruin it. As he comes now to the last corner, hits the apex. It's going to be a good lap, a really good lap, a 32.6 on the mediums, and that's more like the pace that we were expecting for a pole position sort of time, because the mediums are 1.2 slower. So on the softs, LB could, in theory, do a 32.4.
Here comes Yusuf across the line in the McLaren. It's a 34.2, only good enough for P10 as of now. He might have time to go for one more lap again. His teammate, Mr. J-Man, has invalidated his lap time, so he'll be looking to try and go out again and rectify that. TTV Max is on the lap. He's coming down the long straight now. He did have a spin on his out lap, and I think he might be pulling away off this one. He has, yeah. You can see he's not using any battery or the fuel's low, so he's going to try and run it again before his time runs out. Crowds on an out lap as well. Let's keep having a look around. SW, a lot of people on out laps. I think we're setting up for the final runs of this qualifying session now. As I think QB is actually on a lap, so we're right above a QB. He's 4/10 up on his previous best. This could see him improve above the Haas cars, perhaps.
Oh, J-Man nearly goes for a spin. Sorry to interrupt you. I think that's turn 6. As he goes well over the inside of the curb at the next corner and invalidates his lap. So he won't be improving this time around, but still 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, so there's just enough time for those in the pits at the moment to sort themselves out and try and come out once again. QB's got a little bit deep. That might cost him some time, but he might see some improvement and maybe get himself up into the bottom reaches of the top 10. Let's see, it is. Yeah. It's going to put him top 10, or P10 even, with a 34.0 on the nose. Is that a McLaren coming across the line? That's a McLaren who's invalidated a lap time, so that's not going to count. Here comes our belly. I don't think that's going to be a lap. No, that's straight into the pit lane for the Haas car. Let's see if we've got... Is Mr. J-Man on a lap? No, he's invalidated, and I think he spun as well. Nibs is on out lap. So that's leaves Tier then. Tier's out on an improvement. He's a 10th up. So this could see him go into the 31s perhaps and stretch that lead in pole position even further out. We'll have to wait and see as he comes through. The number 77 Mercedes car, I believe, is on there. I couldn't quite see it. It's quite hard to see on the rear fin, but it's a 32.0. Not quite into the 31s then. He's only missed out by 0.02 of a second.
But yeah, still a very decent lap from the Mercedes. Yeah, LB only 0.6 off on mediums is a huge threat to Tier in the race. Crozer was on a very good lap, but invalidated in Sector 2, so it's going to have to go again. Pommy Alex is on an out lap right at the end of the session, but he's also gone out on mediums, so a lot of drivers opting for the alternate strategy today, as the Mercedes of I think that was TTV Max, just was riding on board with Pommy Alex, and the Mercedes just went past him and then immediately spun.
Oh dear.
Oh, I'm sorry, Max, if you're watching, but that was quite funny from my view.
I saw the last bit of that of him getting himself out of the barrier there. That was quite sad. I was saying, commentator's curse has come back once again, it seems.
Captain Nibs is on another lap. Looks like he's improving in the Haas. He's on the mediums as well. Can he get himself into the top 10 on that alternate strategy? He goes a bit deep. Lucky not to invalidate there. I was crossed the line. A little bit better, 34.2. But still a fair way off. But he is on the mediums, remember. So in reality, that's more like a 33.0.
Got a retirement from JBS Steve. I think they're retiring in the pit lane, actually. Or no, there has been a crash, though. At turn 3, right on board with one of the Haas cars. We can see Stingray's hit the barrier at turn 3. I think he's tried to put the traction down and lost all grip, and the car's thrown him into the barrier.
Yeah, it looked like two different, as Tier also retires in the pit lane. Yeah, it looked like two different retirements at similar times in similar places on track. So I hope nothing happened, but it did look like they were far enough away from each other to just be a coincidence. Um, I'll keep an eye on chat to see if anyone is.
Well, LB's not going to go out and challenge, so it's going to come down to those behind outside the top two. As Crozer puts in a 33.7, so he's not going to be able to challenge for pole position. TTV Max, that's going to be the end of his qualifying session as he peels into the pit lane. I'm sure QB will do the exact same. Yes, so we're going to look a bit further back. Captain Nibs is on a lap, but I don't think he's going to be setting one. Hartman is invalidated, so that's going to be the end of his qualifying as well. Mr. J Bean way down on time. I think this could be over. Pommy Alex is on a lap as he's gone a little bit shaky here at turn 12, and he's pulled out of that one as well, so he's not going to set a lap time at all for the Australian. That's not going to be a good start. Madman is not qualifying, of course.
SW invalidated as well, so he will go no faster. Our belly is, well, it said purple through sector 2. Don't trust purple sector 2s, though, as he comes into the final sector. But can he improve a little bit better? It's great to see QB. That's true, yeah. So it must be his second lap on those tyres as he goes a bit deep at the hairpin and comes up to the final corner. His first drive in APPF1, of course, hits the curb a bit. That's going to cost him as well. Comes across the line, but it's decent. A 33.6 from the Haas puts in P7. I think he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, certainly so. That's got him well up from where he was. He was sat just outside the top 10 along with his teammate. And he's got himself in a fairly decent position. P7's nothing to scoff at. As there are no points for qualifying and everything is made up in the race, but it's looking like Red Bull versus Mercedes, with the two Alfa Romeos looking like they're going to have a good haul of points, but you never know.
Yeah, the Alfa Romeo's looking pretty strong. Muhiti with a fantastic qualifying. I believe that's his best ever APPF1 qualifying, P4 for him. I think it's probably the same for Hartman, P5. Stingray riding high in P6 as well. QB is doing okay. I mean, I say that, look, no offense to our man QB, we love him. He's a huge veteran of APPF1, but we usually don't see him not at the back of the grid in qualifying. So it's good to see him in P12 there. And then of course Pommy Alex and Madman not setting laps.
There's one thing we can always say about QB with no doubt at all, is that he usually finishes races.
Yes.
But there we go, that's your qualifying session for the Chinese Grand Prix to start off the fourth season of the Tier 2 Championship, with Tier taking pole position by 0.6 of a second, who in front of LB, who on soft tyres I think could have challenged for pole position as well. If he could find that time and make it up. P3 and 4 claimed by the Alfa Romeos of Muhiti and SW, with Hartman making up the top 5. Stingray, Arbelly, Mr. J-Man, JBS Steve and Krauser make up the top 10, with TTV Max on strategic pole position, with QB, Yuziv and Captain Nibs claiming P11 to 14, with Pommy Alex 15 and Madman 16, who did not set times.
Yeah, and all those results have come through to my screen on my laptop, which is lovely to see. Yeah, Tier with a strong pole position. I said he'd be more at home in Tier 2. Well, that's certainly one way to prove it. Although LB, as I said, is going to be very dangerous there, only 0.6 back on the medium tyres. Yeah, it could end up being Tier versus LB for the race win.
Yeah, it's looking very sunny out there, so that rain might not turn up like we think it's going to, but you never know. Jeff could be saying rain 10 minutes away. And to mention Jeff, this is going to be his last ever appearance on an F1 game.
That's true, yeah.
So he's had a long career with us. He's been our race engineer through thick and thin, but unfortunately he's retiring now, bless him. But we won't talk of retirements, as we don't want to see any in this race. But we will move on to season predictions.
Oh, tough.
Now, I definitely wrote down my season predictions to Stingray. I don't know if you did the same, Ghost. But I think all we did was top 5 drivers and top 3 constructors. If I could find my conversation, I could tell you what I said. Because I was supposed to send a more detailed analysis down to Stingray, which again I apologise for not doing. I have not had a lot of time. So, I said that for constructors, I went Red Bull, Merc, and AlphaTauri. Does JBS Steve does have a teammate, right?
JBS Steve's teammate is Jamie F1, who isn't here today.
There you go. Yeah, that was my top 3.
Interesting.
For constructors, how about you guys?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I also meant to send Stingray my predictions, but I forgot. I'm a busy man. But I'd say top 3 constructors for me. Oh, I'm gonna go with Red Bull, then Ferrari, then Mercedes.
Interesting. And my top 5 drivers was LB, SW, Krauser, Tier, and of course Pommy Alex, Mr. P5.
I'm gonna say Tier for the win, followed by LB, followed by Pommy Alex, followed by Crozer, followed by fifth is tough. I'll say Stingray.
Stingray for 5th. All right, that's your championship. That's championship predictions. But anyway, we're gonna get into the racing action any minute now with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for the first race of season 4, and they're not held long as it's all a tentative start from everybody. The Alfa Romeo looking for a way past the Mercedes. LB getting a terrible start and is already under pressure, but he's managed to hold off the Alfa, who's looking around the outside of turn 2. I think there might have been a bit of contact further back. I did see some debris or something along those lines, but Tier holding firm for now as he leads the pack through that twisty section of turns 1, 2 and 3. We look a bit further back. I think Hartmann and Muhiti are going wheel to wheel all the way down to turn 5. This could get very spicy between the two of them, and Hartmann's going to claim their position and get up ahead of the Alfa Romeo, and SW challenging LB for P2, and he's going to get it. He's going to go up the inside of turn 7 there, and I think LB might come back at him. No, he's not. He's going to sit in behind the grip on that medium tyre, not quite there at the beginning of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at all those position changes. JBS Steve up to P7 around the outside of Stingray at a place you don't usually overtake. Stingray's going to run him out of road there, but rightly so. Steve was sort of always going to be run out of road there.
It's a brawl into turn 11. There's a lot of cars going through. The two McLarens trying to fight one another for positions and try and get up ahead of JBS Steve and Stingray. Sorry to cut you off there, Ghost, but there's a big brawl going on. He's got up ahead through turn 11, and he's going to go on the attack on the AlphaTauri now, down towards turn 13. There's no position changes toward the front. It's all going on in the midfield at this moment.
And the other McLaren as well, J-Man down the inside as SW gets past Tier at the front, round the outside of the final corner. Must have been a mistake from the Mercedes, I reckon. SW sets the fastest lap, but Tier is going to come back at him round the outside of turn 1. Can he do it? That's going to be very tough. Is he going to switch back to the inside? No, he's going to just sit behind the Alfa Romeo and settle for P2 for now.
It's looking like a 4-horse race. We've got Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, Red Bull and Williams all fighting away for that front place on the podium. And those places on the podium as well. They've left the rest of the pack behind to fight amongst themselves. So this is going to be an interesting race as it plays out. And of course, the ever-looming threat of rain as we've got 2 Ferraris and Madman all in the pits with presumably damage.
Yeah, I think that debris you saw must have come from them, Sumo. It's a huge shame for the Ferrari pair as there's a mistake from Tier further ahead, and is LB going to make the move? Not quite, but Tier is going to lose out of DRS to SW if he keeps making mistakes like these, and Hartmann could get involved as well here. He's not too far back. Muhitti's trying to stay up with them, but he's already more than a second down, with Krozer, by the way, up 4 positions, Yusuf up 5 positions, so brilliant starts for them too.
Yeah, certainly so. This is a long ways ahead. They're going to try and get in now. SW's got to try and break that toe, but the slipstream and maybe the drag on Tier's car is helping him keep close on the straight, but he makes a mistake again and LB gets through. Almost loses the car. There's a miracle save from the Mercedes driver.
Close stuff for Tier. We know he's a fast driver, but he's... I think maybe just bewildered that he's at the front of an APPF1 race, and maybe that's forcing mistakes out of him, but it's great to see him near the front and challenging for a podium. I think this is
Here comes Captain Nibs and TTV Max. TTV Max defending the outside line with Captain Nibs and himself going very close together. There's contact between the two of them. It's not too serious between the two. Very, very rough racing as the Haas gets past the Mercedes.
Yeah, Max struggling on those hard tyres, it seems. Is he going to go for a dive into the next corner? He looks to the inside, but decides against that one very sensibly from the young man. Hartmann, by the way, trying to get past here, who's dropped off the top 2 already. The Mercedes not on his qualifying pace, the race pace dropping off towards the rest of the field, and Hartmann is challenging for a podium here.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's going to be. He's going to have the DRS going down. Tier's going to have nothing to defend with. It's all about the exit from this corner. If you can set yourself up with a good exit, as Tier gets a 3-second time penalty, a day going from bad to worse for the Mercedes driver. But the DRS isn't too strong down here, as long as the car behind isn't too close to you. But Hartmann's looking to try and find a way through. He might want to set the move up down into turn 1 if he can get close enough to Tier. No mistakes on the Mercedes this time, coming out of turn 15. Oh no, 14, sorry. As they come through there, SW sits the fastest lap of the race so far. And Tier holds on to P3 for now, but Krozer getting past.
In the pits.
Oh, as Muhitti goes in the pits.
Early stop from the Alfa Romeo, looking to undercut the rest of the field, it looks like.
Yeah, the soft tyres don't last very long around here at all. Tyre wear is terrible around this circuit, especially if you're on softs, as QB has gone for a spin at the final corner. Very easy to do there. We saw Alex Albon do that on his Formula 1 debut and hit the barrier in real life Formula 1 back when Toro Rosso was Toro Rosso.
You can see that those softs are struggling. LB is now within a second of SW. Stingray is retired at the last corner.
And it's a safety car.
Alex. Yeah, safety car. There's the stricken Ferrari. So Stingray obviously heard me predicting him finishing in P5 in the championship, has decided to let the commentator's curse happen. But drive-through penalty for Mr. J. Man. His day goes from bad to worse. His first... I believe his first Tier 2 race in APPF1, so that's a shame. Madman also with a drive-through. It's drive-throughs for everyone here. You need to get Oprah Winfrey into this race, give everyone a drive-through. Yeah, that's perfect news for the guys still on soft tyres. SW, Tier, Hartmann, Yusuf and Arbelli. It's perfect timing of a safety car for them. They can get onto the better tyres without losing too much time. As you say, after about 4 laps, the softs start really going downhill. So, yeah, good time for them all to pit.
Yeah, sadly so. But LB comes in as well, probably for a set of hard tyres, perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what he goes on. I'm going to follow along with LB in the Red Bull as his teammate will take the lead. That's a shame.
Yeah, and
let's see. Hard tyres. It looks like.
Yeah, an SW with a 5-second penalty as well for speeding in the pit lane. Some inside info for you, Sumo, from the races I've done here last week. The elite race, I did soft to medium, and I pitted on lap 4 for the mediums, and took them all the way. So they can go all the way, but my tyres were at 71 and I was saving. So if you go all the way here, you really need to save the tyres well. And I wonder if we'll see anyone try that in this race. Those who've gone onto mediums, the likes of SW, Tier, Hartman, or Muhiti.
Well, we'll see who is the Sergio Perez of Tier 2, the man who massages the tyres. Quick hello to RJ and Lifebout. I did see your comments earlier and then I completely forgot to say hello. I hope you're enjoying the race so far. Only 5 laps in and we've got a safety car already. But that is sometimes the nature of motorsport, as Krauser is in the lead for now of this Grand Prix as the red Mercedes safety car leads us around with Captain Nibs in P2.
Yeah, he's the other man not to pit, and he'll be very excited to be so far up the grid, but is of course a temporary measure for now because him and Krauser yet to pit. But yeah, I'm sure he'll be hoping to keep that position as long as he can, but there's some very, very fast drivers behind him.
I think it's his proper debut. Joined the community today.
Yeah.
And is racing immediately. So good stuff from the Haas driver. Let's hope it doesn't go too far downhill from here. We're just waiting for the last cars to catch up onto the back.
Same for... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, we just got to say we've got an Aston and a Ferrari yet to catch up. So we imagine safety car being next lap as Krauser's had to go slow to a stop to avoid hitting the back of the safety car.
Yeah, both Hasses actually in the same boat. I think Arbelli either joined today or yesterday, or maybe a couple of days ago. So both Hasses are the new drivers for Tier 2. So we'll be willing them on to do well, but not too much. We don't want to curse them. But yeah, the safety car very, very slow around this track, really slow. So it's going to be hard for the drivers to warm up their tyres, especially those in the hards.
Yeah, certainly. So no throttle limiter rant.
Ah, yes.
Right. Okay. I mean, I probably won't go into the throttle limiter, but I will go into the safety car and the fact that it. First of all, VSC is pointless in this game. Like, I'm sorry, it really is. It serves no purpose at all. I think they should just scrap it and go for a full safety car. I get the point of it, but at the same time, I don't know why you're here, because there's no people can, if you're a sneaky sausage, you can go around and gain massive advantages over people by just going that ever so slightly faster, so your gap to the guy behind you goes up from being half a second to 2.5 seconds. It's ridiculous. There's no way of policing it at all. And then with the safety car itself, I don't know, it just seems too slow. The Delta thing lasts for way too long as well. It's just, I don't know. They need to really think about safety cars, and I don't know. Maybe they should. Maybe in next year's game, since you can drive the safety car, maybe somebody's got to come in and be the safety car driver on online lobbies. Look at our own Bernd Mylander, or however you say his name. I always thought it was Bert.
Bertie Mylander.
But the safety car is going to come in now. Krauser is your effective safety car. He's weaving around, getting the warmth in those medium tyres that are 5 laps old, and looking to get the best restart possible. He's got all this train of cars behind him, all eager and ready to punch it. but he's got until the safety car goes into the pit lane. So from about now till the line to get this race back underway, and I'm sure he'll be looking to do it at the exit of turn 16. Just going into turn 16, so he's gone, and it looks like he's caught the Haas sleeping very much, and SW already on the attack and looking to get way past the Haas. They're going to go side by side down into turn 1. And I think SW goes round the inside just before the corner begins, which is going to leave Captain Nibs vulnerable to the guys behind as LB goes up the inside with Tyr looking to join him as well. The inside quickly becomes the outside for them, and there's a lot of carnage going on. I think both Tyr and LB get straight past Captain Nibs, and Hartman's going to look to do the same as well, coming down to turn 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Captain Nibs getting absolutely mugged there. Although, hot off the press, it could have been a suggestion of SW overtaking before the line there, which, yeah, that would be a 10-second penalty from the stewards if he did. So we'll have to see if that gets reported. Hartman has gotten his way past Captain Nibs in the meantime, so the Haas down to P6 as Madman and Pommy Alex are battling out at the bottom of the grid. Side by side they go for P14. Madman getting past, and there's more side by side action just up ahead of them as well, with Mr. J Man trying to get past QB.
Yeah, he's going to look round the outside. It's very hard to get that overtake done here. Getting on the power for this corner, so hard. TTV Max is looking to get a slice of the pie as well. They're all going to be going nose to bumper, nose to diffuser down the line. And I think J-Man's getting past QB. He is. TTV Max is going to try and follow him through into the hairpin as well. Not enough room for the youngster as he tries to squeeze his way into that space.
Madman down the middle. Oh my word! QB backs out of that one and says, no, thank you very much. I'm not going 3 wide there. TTV Max goes very wide and gets a 3-second time penalty. I don't know if he might dispute that. Yeah, Madman is now going to go down the inside into turn 1 and 2, I think. No, Max prevents that from happening. Very good defending from the Mercedes, but Madman is going to be looking to get past to complete his quest of going last to first, but it's going to be very tricky in this Tier 2 grid.
Yeah, certainly. So we've got a yellow flag. That's Mr. J-Man going slowly in Sector 1. I think he's just come out of the pits, maybe, serving that drive-through penalty. Of course, Madman's still got that drive-through penalty to serve as well. We'll head back to we'll keep an eye on this, actually. TTV Max and Madman going at it. Madman has got past the Mercedes driver, and I think that's going to be a done deal. But do not forget that Madman does have to come into the pits within the next 2 laps.
Oh, yeah, drive-through. Forgot about that. I think that's what happened to Mr. J, man. He took his drive-through.
Yes.
Yeah, SW challenging Crozer for the lead, or trying to, but the Red Bull standing strong. The Red Bull's currently sitting in P1 and P3. Tyr is with them as well. Hartman trying to keep on track.
Oh, SW going for the dive!
There goes SW. That is a dive down to the hairpin, and Crozer is forced deep, and SW takes the lead of the race. He's going to have that penalty, of course, as Crozer just lets LB through there, I think, and is now going to try and hold Tyr up, but he's compromised himself out the last corner, and here comes Tyr around the outside. The Mercedes looking for the room. Crozer leaving him just enough, and Tyr's going to go all the way around the outside still. Might he cut to the inside? No, he's not. He's going to stay where he is and have the inside for turn 3, and that's beautifully done from the Mercedes. Great racing between the two. Tyr up into P3.
There we go. I think Tyr's found his rhythm now. I think he's got way back on top of this race, and he's going to look to try and progress even further forward, even with that 3-second time penalty. Crozer is also going to have to come into the pits as Madman comes out just ahead of Mr. J-Man, serving at their penalties now. So they will have to get their heads down and try and get back in this race as much as they can from their current positions as the final 2 cars on the grid so far. But LB is keeping SW honest. He's keeping him looking in those mirrors.
Hartman, sorry to interrupt, down the inside of Crozer, who's made a mistake at the end of Sector 2 here, and Hartman, the Williams, straight down the inside. Simple move. Crozer shipping position after position now on those older tyres. Hartman up to P4, looking to try and get back up with the top 3.
I must say I'm glad Hartmann didn't hang up his racing wheel, because I don't think he was finished yet. He was one half of the championship winning team. But here comes LB round the outside of turn 14. There's a little bit of wheel banging between the two of them. He looks for the cutback on SW, and he's going to try and get it, but the grip's just not there on those hard tyres yet. So SW stays ahead for now as they come through the final corner down towards the start-finish line, and LB's going to go on the attack once again. LB sets the fastest lap. He's got the pace in that Red Bull car on those hard tyres. He's going to go and round the outside of SW, as he know. Maybe he'll try and cut back onto the inside. No, he won't. He's not quite going to have the time. He's going to have to wait for SW's tyres to start getting into that window where they're off the grip, and Krauser's got back past Hartmann down toward turn 1, 2 and 3.
They've been side by side pretty much the last 30 seconds, Sue. I've been watching them as Hartmann tries to go for a dive into the next corner but decides against it. So Krauser back into P4. He made the move into the hairpin after the long straight, and then Hartmann fought back out of the final corner. But Krauser yet again taking the position. Look how much time they've lost. SW's gone for spin! SW is gone, and he's down to P6, P7. It could be P8. It is P8. JBS Steve gets past as well. SW trying to hang it round the outside, and he's going to do so. They're still side by side, the two of them. Steve on the hard tyre, and SW I think is going to keep P7 here unless JBS Steve can still make the move. But I think SW has got the inside line, and yeah, that's going to be plain sailing, although he's not going to have DRS possibly. I don't know who is going to get it actually out of the two of them. But we've got to keep an eye on the front as well, because here comes Tier.
Yeah, Tier on the attack now. He's seen that LB is now vulnerable to attack with the DRS in his favour, and he's got that grippier tyre as well, so he's going to try everything he can, and they're going to go side by side into turn 16. Oh, they know Tier pulls out of that one. He's going to wait for the move down towards turn 1. It's the better place to do it, the less risky option. Captain Nibs with another 3-second time penalty, I believe, as Tier gets the job done before the corner.
Hartmann and Krauser side by side again, and Hartmann's made the move once more. But look at that battery, Sumo, on that Williams. It's 14% compared to Krauser's 65%, and the Red Bull is still going to fight him all the way around the outside of turn 3, but not quite making the move. LB and Tier close together as well, as Madman sets the fastest lap further back, unsurprisingly, after his drive-through. Captain Nibs trying to get involved as well, as SW gets past his teammate, who I think may have just let him through there.
Yeah, I think so too. Captain Nibs rubbing his hands together right now, watching these two fight. That could potentially be a couple positions for him, but we'll have a look at penalties just very quickly. Captain is it's his first 3-second time penalty, and SW of course still got up 5 seconds, but that spin has not helped his campaign for this racer in.
Certainly hasn't. He's down in P6 now, and with that penalty as well, he's going to find it very tricky to get his way back up to the front of the grid. JBS Steve still trying to fight him. The AlphaTauri not done yet, as there's another mistake. Is that Tier out? Yeah, it is. Oh no, the Mercedes! He was going so well, but he's into the wall, and that's going to set LB free. He's just given it too much throttle on that long right-hander, and he's going to be absolutely gutted as Captain Nibs gets his way past Krauser as well, but Krauser back down the inside at the hairpin. Great stuff between the two of them. Captain Nibs can't fight that one. He just gets too much on the curb, and he's going to have to stay behind, but he's going to have the DRS again up to turn 1.
Yeah, he certainly is. This is going to be a good battle between the two of them. These guys, leading pair on the strategy that didn't, well, drivers that didn't come in during the safety car. So we'll wait and see how it plays out for them. There could well be another safety car here. I didn't think Tier got damaged, but he does. I didn't see any flash lights on his MFD, but I guess he did get some damage from that visit to Barrier. As SW looking to go up inside of Captain Nibs, and SW is not impartial to a dive bomb up the inside, and he's done it again.
Yeah, he's up into P4 now, so he's back again up into the top 3 pretty soon. I don't think it'll take him too long to get past Krauser. But as I said, LB now 4 seconds clear. He's unchallenged at the top, and he's on the hard tyres, so he can go all the way, the Red Bull. And yeah, he's in a really good position here, LB.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's going to be... we've seen him dominate races before, and but we've also seen him drop the ball when he's been leading a race. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Meanwhile, we have a battle on our hands for the final place on the podium, as Krauser has fallen way back from Hartmann. And is now finding himself defending from SW and Captain Nibs in the Haas, and JBS Steve, who's now got involved in the fight.
Yeah, JBS Steve running well on those hard tyres. Muhiti just a little bit further back with his friend Yusuf in the different car this time. Here comes SW. Is he going to have the overspeed to get past Krauser? No, but he's going to go back down the inside through turns 1 and 2. Here they go. SW down the inside. Great move from the Alfa Romeo. He's made it stick, and that's great stuff. That's one of my favoured moves around this track. Look like you're going to go around the outside.
Oh, here comes JBS Steve going on the attack on Mr. Captain Nibs. I don't know why I call him Mr. Nibs, but I think he's going to get the job done before the corner. He is. He goes right round the outside and says thank you very much, and it's my turn to have a go at these boys now.
Great stuff from the Alpha Tauri. Captain Nibs falling back a little bit now. He enjoyed his stay at the top, but I think with that wide line through there and this next corner as well, Muhiti gets through. Does the Haas have damage, I wonder, because that seemed very unnaturally. Yeah, I'm sure he has damage. I don't know where from, but there's almost certainly damage on that Haas. I think we'll see him
there's a crash. There's been a crash.
Madman and QB into the wall. So both of them taking a huge tumble down this down the track. Mr. J-Man's going to get past both of them. I think Madman is slowing down to let QB back through. Maybe he thought the crash was his fault.
There's no wing on Madman's
on him. It's TDV Max just I go on board, has a spin. Oh, it's all my fault. And he's into the wall yet again as JBS Steve gets past Krauser once more. Into P4 goes the Alpha Tauri now, so he's now challenging for the podium today.
Yeah, he certainly is. Yeah, Madman's got no wing and he's really struggling to get himself back in this. I just saw him go very deep on the track map, trying to brake for turn 11. But JBS Steve
Captain Nibs
past Krauser now as well, and Krauser's going to look to go on the attack. So we've got a few people coming into the pit lane now. Well, did Captain Nibs have damage?
Yeah, he must have done. They have a new front wing
change
ready. Yeah. So I don't know how that happened for Captain Nibs. Hopefully it was just a bit of bad luck or a mistake and no shenanigans involved there. QB also in, of course. Arbelli has just been overtaken by Pommy Alex as well, who's fighting his way back up in the Ferrari. He's up to P8 on those hard tyres. And he has already pit, so he could go to the end if he wanted to.
Yeah, he certainly could. Yusuf and Muhiti, teammates from last season, didn't have the best time as Madman retires in the pit lane. I think he's had enough for today. But these guys didn't have the best season in that Ferrari, and now they're racing against each other. So we'll see how that plays out between the two of them as the race continues. We're exactly halfway through the race now, I'd have said. As TTV Max also retires in the pit lane.
I think he might have crashed on entry to the pit lane. Look at where his car is.
That is very strange.
I think he's done a Lewis Hamilton. As Arbelli gets past Pommy Alex, I didn't expect that.
He's crashed.
Oh, that's why he's crashed. Oh no, he's gone too deep. He's got on the grass, and the Haas driver into the wall.
Safety car.
First race in APPF1 ends in disaster, and we have another safety car, unsurprisingly. Such a shame for Arbelli. That's the fourth retirement of this race.
That is a real shame. For that, I shouldn't have said we don't want any retirements. Because we're seemingly
Krauser drive-through
now. Oh, drive-through for Krauser. That is huge for the Constructors' battle at the beginning of this season. He's going to see him drop way, way back, and he can't serve that under safety car either. He has to serve that under green flag conditions. SW, however, can get rid of his penalty.
He can indeed. You know also what the funny thing is about this? The more safety cars there are, the more delay there is, the more chance we're going to have rain at the end.
It is starting to get a bit cloudy, I was noticing, actually. You see those clouds rolling in. There's less sunlight now on the circuit. I think Jeff might be just whispering in drivers' ears, saying rain is about 10 minutes away or so. So this could turn into a very interesting evening of racing.
It could indeed. Tier's back in the race. QB's back in the race. Captain Nibs is back in the race, as well as Mr. J Man after his drive-through earlier. So this is going to bring everyone back in who had their mistakes earlier. But what a shame for our Belly. He was driving well up until that point and just overcooked his overtake on Crozer into the gravel, and then just got a bit too much on the throttle. LB is into the pits. As is Hartman, so both of them in. SW in, JBS Steve, Crozer, Muhiti stays out, so Muhiti is going to lead this race. I think that's a mistake.
And Yusuf stays out too.
Yeah, they're both Turkish drivers staying out on track. Is Mr. J Man going to stay out as well and follow the trend? I don't think so, because he's not going to gain any positions. Everyone's coming out of the pits now.
SW softs. That's gonna bite. That's gonna bite him,
Alex,
I think.
As well.
That's gonna bite the pair of them, I think. I'm not sure the safety car will be out for much longer, and those softs are dreadful after about 3 or 4 laps.
Maybe they think the rain is coming soon.
Maybe. That would be the only other reason to put softs on. I'd have gone mediums all the way, unless you had no other choice.
Yeah.
And you started on the mediums.
Yeah, tricky situation for the both of them. Yeah, obviously we don't have the inside intel on the weather, but maybe they feel like that's what's going to happen. QB gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane under the safety car, which is not ideal. It's probably because he doesn't have the line on. Yeah, tricky times, difficult decisions ahead for the drivers.
Yeah, certainly. So yeah, Pommy definitely could have gone onto a new set of mediums. He might not have. He might have only had a scrub set available though. Is
Yeah.
what I'm thinking, as LB's apparently gained a position.
Mr. J-Man did stay out to complete the trend of. I believe J-Man is Turkish, because we've got some fans in the chat of Muhiti and Yusuf, and they are also cheering on Mr. J-Man. So I would assume that he is also from Turkey. So all 3 Turkish drivers staying out. Whether that's the right decision or not, we'll have to wait and see. If there's rain, it could be the right decision, but I think if we're going to the end, they are going to tumble down the order, those top 2.
Yeah, certainly. So I mean, it's definitely getting cloudier, but I don't know if we'll see any rain at the moment. But you never know; things can change incredibly quickly. And what a turnaround it would be if Yusuf and Muhiti managed to stay where they are by the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, personally, I can't see it happening unless something happens, some miracle happens that gives them a huge advantage, like another safety car or a crash behind, like some sort of pile-up. That's what they'll be hoping for, but LB, the likes of LB, Hartman, JBS Steve will be past them pretty quickly, I would have thought. Remember, Crozer has that drive-through, so he's going to drop all the way to the back as well as soon as the safety car comes in.
Yeah, certainly. So I think we're just waiting for QB to catch up. We should be going racing again very, very soon. We've got the one more lap, but I think a few mistakes made. I think between the people choosing the softs and the people not choosing to come in. Mr. J-Man might have an easier time of it because he's on the hard tyres. So, but certainly Muhiti and Yusuf might struggle.
Yeah, I think so. They can get to the end. It's just they're going to be a lot slower than everyone behind them. So, yeah, it's certainly a tricky situation for them. I think the safety car will be in this lap. QB's just about to catch back up.
Yeah, there it is.
Here we go.
Yeah. The safety car's got to pull away. Muhiti, for the first time in his time in APPF1, will lead the pack around as the provisional safety car. I'm sure he'll be frantically weaving left and right on the straight to get some warmth into those tyres, as everybody else has begun to. You can see them all going left to right if you're not very knowledgeable in Formula 1, which I'm sure most of you are who are watching. That's how they get the warmth in the tyres, by weaving left to right. But I see there's 5 watching right now. Make sure you guys have liked the stream. There's only 1 like on the stream so far, so what are you guys doing? Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you like what you see. I do. We've got commentary, we've got onboards of racing as well. But yes, please do make sure you give us a like and subscribe, and make sure you go check out our sponsor, Positive Perception Media Design Products, as we look to get back underway very soon. Mahiti's got the chance to go from now onwards, and let's see when he punches it. I think he's going to go just about now. Oh no, he's going to cut it all the way down to the line. There he goes. And he's cut it all the way down. Only Yusuf is on it, and I did see a slight glitch where it was chucking it down with rain, but then it's disappeared immediately.
SW going down the inside. There's carnage. 3 abreast into turn 2. LB getting up to P2 already. Yusuf and Hartmann side by side. Hartmann taking a bit of contact and losing out to SW just behind. JBS Steve trying to get involved. Pommy Alex as well. I think there were some overtakes that happened before the line, so the stewards might be looking at those. As SW goes far too deep. Brilliant reactions from LB to see that coming, but SW has just ruined his own chances of getting up into P2.
It's raining. There. I think it's raining, Ghost.
It's raining. And we've got contact. Hartmann and Yusuf. Hartmann, it looked like there was not enough space left for the McLaren there. So they're both down to the back of the grid. JBS Steve has lost out as well. Everyone's losing out. It is raining, so the softs were the right choice. SW and Pommy Alex into P3 and 4 now. As the rain comes down, everyone's going to have to pit. And looks like staying out also could have been the right choice.
Here comes LB running outside of Muhiti into turn 12. And it's going to be a drag race all the way down to turn 14. It'll be last of the late breakers for the 2 of them. I think Muhiti's actually managed to stay ahead for the moment, but LB might look for a move on the inside, but with the grip falling away very, very quickly with the rain coming down, I'm not sure it's a valuable move, but LB goes for the switchback on them. They're going to go side by side into the last corner there, and LB goes right around the outside, and Mahiti has a tongue slapper, which is going to invite his teammate right back through and into P2 to chase back after LB on those soft tyres, and Pommy Alex is going to look to have a go as well. There's so much going on. There's been a crash in the pit lane as well. I think Yusuf has crashed in the pits. That's got the rain has come, everybody. Just like Ghost said, it looks far worse on my stream on my laptop, I must say. It looks miserable.
Tia, by the way, he's up to P5. He was back of the grid at when the safety car came out. QB's gone in for inters. Crozer has also gone in, but he's not on the inters, so he's going to have to pit again. Oh yeah, he had the drive-through, so that makes sense. I think everyone's going to be in for inters pretty soon. Tier up to P5. Muhiti still staying strong in P4. Pommy Alex up to a podium position.
So close to the back of that Alfa Romeo is Tier. He's looking for a way past. He's all over the back of him, and he's going to go up the inside of turn 11. They're going to go side by side through the corner, and Tier emerges up the hill in P4. And going to have to watch this guy. He's just got a 3-second time penalty though, so I think that's 6 seconds for him. Yep. But in the wet conditions, Tier is very, very quick. And SW and LB having a drag race right down to the line. I think DRS got disabled just a moment ago, and SW backing out of that. He knows the grip's not there for him, and braking late is not going to work this time.
Hartmann, though. No, he does back out as well. Captain Nibs lost 2 positions in one corner. Hartmann does go around the outside.
Pommy stays out.
Pommy Alex stays out. That's a mistake, I think, from the Ferrari.
There goes
Hartmann
DRS.
Also stays out. DRS is disabled. Everyone is coming into the pits. SW gets another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Disaster for him. I think he might have the line off, Sumo. But Hartmann, Tier, and Pommy Alex all staying out, which I think is an error. Everyone else into the pits for the intermediate tyres, as the 2 Alfa Romeos have a double stack, but Muhiti's going to lose out big time because SW needed a wing change. Tier's retired from the session. Oh no!
He's crashed.
Crash. It's a safety car. perfect for Pommy, Alex, and Hartman, Sumo. They're going to be able to pit, and they might just be able to come out in P1 and P2.
What is happening right now?
What is going on?
There's the stricken Mercedes.
Hartman with a drive-through.
Oh my word! This is going worse and worse and worse. But Pommy Alex might just get that win he's been searching for ever since the beginning of the Tier 2 Championship. Remember back to Belgium? Remember when he binned it at Al Rouge and Radion?
I do.
I do remember that as well, like it was yesterday. Pommy Alex, I'm his biggest fan at the moment. Everybody's a Pommy Alex fan. He's the people's champion, and he's going to win the opening round of the race, possibly. I don't want to jinx it. I'm touching wood.
What have you done?
I know, I've messed it up now. That's it. It's done. I've got way too excited, Ghost. But I think it could go well for the Ferrari.
What have you done? No. But yeah, we've got now 6 retirements from this opening race. But I mean, it's one, it's Tier 2 opening race of the season, and 2, it's changeable conditions. I mean, you can't not expect a lot of crashes and DNFs, unfortunately. But that is 6 drivers out, only 10 drivers left in the race. Hartman comes in, but he is going to have to serve that drive-through, so he's going to drop all the way to the back as soon as the safety car comes in. Unfortunately, he could have been on for a podium today. Pommy Alex onto the Inters. He is going to be leading the race, this Ferrari. And, wow, what a moment this could be for the Australian.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I said that, Lifebout. If Pommy Alex crashes or doesn't win this race now, I think I might hang up my headset.
Hartman has come out the pits in P4, but yeah, he's going to be cursing himself for getting that drive-through. He could have been on for a podium today, the American, but he's going to drop all the way to the back and hoping for another safety car right at the end. We did have one in... oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of a different league that I raced in yesterday. I was going to say we did have one in Elite. No, we didn't. That was yesterday. But yeah, a late safety car can change everything at this point, even with the rain. It is Pommy Alex leading from LB, and Tia, the rain master, DNFs before he can even put the rain tyres on.
That is a huge shame for the Mercedes. He'll be ruin the moment that he didn't come in when LB and SW both came in for their stops. But we could see another huge shift in the standings. Thus far, we've got 10 drivers left in the race. It doesn't matter in terms of points, as everybody gets points as long as you finish the race or complete 90% of it. Going from 20 downwards, from P1 to P20. But yeah, Pommy Alex is in a good position here. He's only going to have, I'd say, about 6 laps to hold out as he gets a bit adventurous on the throttle there. Don't do that.
It's Pommy Alex, LB, JBS Steve, Muhiti and Crozer, the only drivers without penalties. So those penalties could come in to play. Obviously Hartman's got the drive-through, but SW's got 6 seconds, I think. It's either 6 or 3. Mr. J-Man somehow overtakes Captain Nibs. I'm not sure what's happened there. Captain Nibs down to P7. He's made the place back up. I think now we've got some game issues where it's telling both of them to let each other through. Captain Nibs comes into the pits. I think he might have taken damage there, actually, because he did hit the Mercedes, the McLarens. He's certainly taken damage now as he comes in and has a bit of a slide. It's not been the ideal first debut race in APPF1 for the Haas drivers, but hopefully Captain Nibs can at least finish the race today.
Yeah, hopefully so. Well, shifting the standings. I don't know. Shifting the standings. I mean, these are the standings on the left here, right?
Yes.
Lifebout. So yeah, shifting the standings. Shifting the grid position. Shifting the order. I mean, there's many ways of saying it. Lifebout.
Paul, one thing One thing is, who has the
No,
fastest lap?
stop saying that, One Ring. We can't keep saying this.
Who has the fastest lap? It is, well, Madman has the fastest lap, but he's DNF'd, so it's going to go to whoever's finished the race. I think that's how it works. And the fastest lap is LB, so he'll get the extra point. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on that. It might not be. But yeah, as it stands, that is how it is. And if the rain continues, which it looks like it will, no one is going to set a better lap.
No, indeed. And I think safety car will be definitely in this lap as we'll just wait for Captain Nibs to close up onto the back. Yeah, Pommy's going to crash. He's going to have a horrendous crash.
Yep.
He's going to forget to brake at turn 14 and he's going to go straight into the barrier. I've done that before. Not at this track, it was at Spain. I forgot to brake for turn 4 and I ended up in the wall.
I do have another quote from the Discord. It is Yusuf, who we saw crash on entry to the pit lane, and he has put in Discord expletive pit lane. So yeah, he's not very happy about the China pit lane.
No,
but I don't blame him because it has lost him a top. I mean, it could have been a top 6 position for Yusuf today.
Yeah, certainly so. Well, Pommy Alex then is your effective safety car, the third effective safety car of this race. It is now raining, so that rain coming into effect. So this race has been turned right upside down, and it might just do so again when the racing gets back underway. And I think Pommy Alex is gone.
LB!
He's
gone
gone
for a spin. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. I think the limiter has destroyed LB's restart there. Pommy Alex is 2.5 seconds clear because of that. But yeah, disaster for LB. I think he's been caught out by the game there. It's given him a limiter which is just ridiculous. But Hartmann is going to be right on the back of him. SW as well is there. Crozer gets past QB already. Good overtake from the Red Bull. He's going to try and mount his recovery from the back.
Oh, and
Captain
here comes
Nibs. Is trying to get past as well. Yeah. QB under pressure from 2 cars. Here comes the Haas, but getting on the power is going to be very tricky. He's still there, but a few short shifts and he's not going to be able to make the move. Or is he? He's going to go down the inside into the next corner. No, he backs out of that one. QB breaks too late.
Oh, but he will get it.
Yeah, he's going to get through now. There he goes.
2.6 second lead for Pommy Alex as LB makes a mistake at the worst possible time. But like I said, Pommy Alex is going to crash at turn 14 this lap.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen. Meanwhile, further back, SW is in P2 right now. He does have that 5-second penalty though, which means LB is effectively P2. And JBS Steve might actually get that final spot on the podium.
He could well do. Those penalties are going to cost the drivers ahead. And obviously Hartmann's still got to come in for his drive-through. He's going to be hoping for someone else to crash and to get another safety car. Pommy Alex is certainly not going to be hoping for that. But we've got Crozer on the back of Muhiti as well. He's going to be trying to mount a charge to try and get back into the top 6 at least today after a string of unlucky mistakes for the Red Bull. LB still with SW as JBS Steve gets past. Yeah, Hartmann into the pits. Sorry for his drive-through. I thought something had happened, but yeah, he's going to drop right to the back, and it's such a shame for the Williams because he has driven amazingly this race. What a return it's been for the American, but yes, it's ended in tears with a drive-through under safety car.
Yeah, certainly. So it always hurts to get that drive-through or that 5-second penalty when you're under safety car for the moment. But the rain has definitely made overtaking a little bit harder around here. Everybody kind of just settling into the conditions now, trying not to make mistakes. LB, though, just managing to stay with SW. He's actually got 8 seconds of penalties.
Oh, wow.
With 3 seconds for everybody
Captain
else.
Nibs is retired.
Nibs!
Oh, no! He's gone for a spin. I think that was of his own volition. He was well ahead of QB. That's another safety car. Pommy Alex, it's a disaster for him. We've got carnage up ahead. We've got cars overtaking each other somehow. I don't know what's been happening there. It's some shenanigans on Codemaster's part, I'm sure. That's our 7th retirement of the day. I don't know if that's enough for Captain Nibs to be classified.
I don't think
Could
so.
be. It could be. I mean, 28 laps. Nah, he needed to get to lap 25, I think. So, both Haas drivers, 2 debuts.
Lifepat doesn't want me showing Pommy Alex on the cameras at all.
Tia is in my chat. He said he's gutted because it's raining now. And he said he had slight rear wing damage from his earlier off, and then was trying to push too hard at the right-hander and a bit too much throttle and put it into the wall. And he's blaming tiredness again.
There you go.
Such a shame for the Mercedes. What a drive he was on for doing, but yeah, the rain, just the undoing of so many drivers today.
Yeah, it certainly has been. And it's Hartmann into the pits once more. He's brought back into this race so he can claw back some positions perhaps. But when it's raining like this, it is difficult to get past other drivers unless you can find ways to have them make mistakes and you get straight past. He does need to survive 2 laps, but I keep telling you guys he's going to crash. Hell, he'll crash into the back of the safety car. The safety car's going to brake check him. But we slowed the race down for what is definitely the final time, as the game doesn't like to keep the safety car out any further than this. And it should be in maybe
end of
even
lap
this.
26.
Yeah, lap
should be
26.
in.
Yeah.
It always gives you 2 racing laps. So yeah, they'll be in on the end of the next lap because we're waiting for Hartmann, his dreams have come true. There has been another safety car, so he's back in the race, and could get himself into the top 6 again. Crozer, meanwhile, into the top 6. He's just behind Mr. J-Man, who has 3 seconds of penalties, the McLaren. But SW with 8 seconds, of course, unless he pits again. I don't think he will. So he's going to drop quite far come the checkered flag. LB and JBS Steve currently on track for those 2 spots on the podium. It's all up to Pommy Alex.
I'll tell you what's funny. China, it's a open yet technical circuit in my opinion, for a lot of its corners, but yet it seems to harbour the same amount of DNFs you'd expect from any street circuit, or at least the same amount of carnage. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And we throw a bit of rain into the equation, and then you've got a recipe for disaster, I suppose. But I think everyone's driven well. I don't think there's been any serious crashes that the stewards are going to have to get involved in. It's just dropping it. Maybe drivers haven't had time to practice since we've had a week off, and the weather's getting nice now as well. Everybody's probably going out when we're at the end of the game cycle. We're only about, I think, 2 months away from F1 22. Well, it'll be a month away actually. Come Wednesday in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, I guess 6 weeks or so, I suppose, as of tomorrow, or maybe 5 weeks.
I've got another. Should we make this a segment? Ghosts Discord quotes. We need a theme tune.
Yeah.
But we've got Captain Nibs in the Discord saying that he would have been fine if it wasn't raining, but what a race he had. He says it was some of the best racing he's ever had. So we absolutely love to hear that. Despite the DNF, long may that continue for the rest of the season. Captain Nibs, welcome to APPF1, and same for R Belly as well. Hope you guys have some better races from now on, but glad to hear you enjoyed the racing which you did have. Safety car is in this lap.
Yeah, clean racing is what we do, and it's what we do best, I think. But Pommy Alex, then, he's got it all to do to avoid that imminent crash that I know is going to happen at any moment right now. But he is the effective safety car for the moment. I'm trying to dial back the grin that's on my face now, because this is I'm not gonna say anymore. I won't say anymore. But SW is out of this race essentially. He's got 8 seconds of penalties. It's not gonna go well for him unless he can break 8 seconds in 2 laps of wet racing, which is would be quite a feat, if I'm honest. You'd have to be a god in the rain, you know, like Lewis Hamilton-esque rain driving, I suppose. But we're going to be getting underway any moment now. 2 laps, or a sprint to the finish in the wet, and Pommy Alex is gone, and SW has stayed right with him. LB is a little bit further back, but he catches up, but he runs very wide through the final corner. There goes Muhiti as well in the other Alfa Romeo. That's not a great restart for him. Hartmann up 2 positions already. He's got past QB and Muhiti because of that spin. And Pommy Alex doing well to keep SW behind at the moment. But he's got SW and LB hounding. LB, the only one who can actually challenge Pommy Alex for the lead, as he has no penalties for the moment. And JBS Steve still looking strong for that final spot on the podium as Krauser gets past J-Man as he's spun. J-Man has spun. That's going to be a shame. And he's got wing damage as well. Is his front left end plate?
Sorry to interrupt. SW had a little go down the inside of the slow right-hander, but he's not able to make the move. Pommy Alex with the better exit. And this is the penultimate lap of the Chinese Grand Prix. Do not scratch your eyes. These really are the standings. Pommy Alex is winning, but SW is just behind, and we all know Pommy Alex is going to crash at turn 14, so it doesn't matter anyway. LB, as you say, the only person who can challenge the Ferrari for the win because of SW's penalties, but the Red Bull unable to make any moves. It's so hard to get past anyone in the wet, especially on a track like this. JBS Steve has dropped back, so it's all down to these 3. Hartmann is looking to challenge Krauser for P5 as well further back. He's within a second, so the Williams could get into the top 5 despite everything today.
Yeah, certainly so. It all was going wrong for Hartmann, but he's not one to give up. Is the American? He was the other half of the championship-winning duo of Tinoz and Hartmann in those Alpha Tauris, and he's definitely driving. Watch LB a penalty! Oh, running wide at that final corner has cost him dear. I think he might have got one as well on that restart too, but that is going to cost him big time, as now he won't be able to challenge Pommy unless Pommy has that fated crash. But it's the final lap now. Pommy's got it all to do. He's got 2 sectors and a little bit to survive in these slippery conditions, and LB is looking to get up past SW. He's going to look to the inside, and SW
too late again, and he's hit Pommy Alex. There's contact between them. SW just braking too late. Pommy Alex down to P3, but he's still up there. Maybe does he have front wing damage? I hope not. But LB needs to pull 3 seconds to win this race. Pommy Alex is down to 3rd position. As I said, JBS Steve is now catching up thanks to that little bit of carnage. I think the Ferrari is fine for damage. I think it's still okay, but he's gone deep.
No!
There might be damage to the Ferrari. I'm not sure. I'm going to change to leader, gap to leader on the timing screens, because that's what matters. He needs 3 seconds, LB, to win the race. Pommy Alex is 1.9 behind. It's going to go up to 2 seconds. There's 2 corners to go for LB. Can he pull a second to the Ferrari? Can JBS Steve get involved as well for the final, the 2nd position on this podium? Krauser is holding off Hartmann, who's just behind him. But here they go round the final few corners.
Oh, it's. I've never been so on the edge of my seat in one of these races ever. But I think it's going to come up Ferrari, and it's going to come up Pommy Alex, who's going to win his first race in
He's
Tier
done
2. The
it!
People's Champion finally takes the top step after 4 seasons. What an incredible race. LB getting that second place on the podium, and JBS Steve getting the final spot. I thought it all went wrong. SW made a what seemed like an unnecessary move, or just a huge mistake from the Alfa Romeo. But wow, what a race! I was absolutely on the edge of my seat for that final lap after turn 5. Oh my word! I think I'm more happy about it than he is.
I think SW does. I think SW might well have the line off, which is why he was making all those late braking errors. I mean, that would certainly explain it, but I'm not sure. But Pommy Alex, driver of the day, from the back of the grid. Remember, he started this race in 15th. That's where he started, and he's come up to win the Chinese Grand Prix and take the lead of the standings in Tier 2. What a race.
Wow. Maybe it's the year of Ferrari, eh?
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, what an incredible race. Got to be going back to being impartial, but what an incredible drive. A madman set out to do last to first, but Pommy Alex has done it instead.
Wow. Absolutely incredible. What a race. I mean, we had a lot of DNFs. Don't get us wrong here. This was a carnage-filled race, but it wasn't half exciting. Pommy Alex takes the top step with LB in P2 in the Red Bull. JBS Steve takes the final spot on the podium, P3. What did I say at the start of this race, Sumo? Did I not predict that the three drivers fighting the championship were going to be Pommy Alex, LB, and JBS Steve?
You did say that. I'm pretty sure we'll have to go back and we'll have to get the independent adjudicators in to check that one. But yeah, wow, Pommy Alex taking the win first time in Tier 2. LB to P2, JBS Steve ran off the podium with Krauser, Hartmann, SW, Muhiti, QB, all managing to finish the race, with J-Man, Nibs, Tier Yusuf, Arbelli, Madman, and T3 Max and Stingray not managing to finish. But what an incredible race. LB cheering on Pommy Alex. What sportsmanship from the Red Bull driver down in my chat over here. But wow, what a way to kick off Season 4, our final season of Tier 2 on this iteration of the game.
Wow, I mean, you can't ask for a more exciting opening to the season. It wasn't the most, I wouldn't say not the cleanest, but it was certainly not the we didn't have many drivers finishing, but it was certainly exciting, and I hope this continues for the rest of the season.
Yes, so
wow.
Do I. What did I say at the start? I said at the end of qualifying there, I said it doesn't matter where you start in the race, it all matters where you finish. And that's where
Absolutely.
The points are. And Pommy Alex has come away with almost maximum points. Didn't manage to get that fastest lap point though. But what an incredible drive from him and from a lot of our other drivers. Even if they didn't finish the race, our debutants showed they've got some mettle to work with. In this, can't speak, in Tier 2, and hopefully they can continue to show us what they can do throughout the rest of the season. Big thank you to everybody who's watched the stream. Make sure you have left a like and subscribe to the channel, of course, if you want to catch all the Tier 2 action, as well as all of the upcoming Sprint Championship action from my perspective. Anything left to say, Goes?
200 comments on my stream,
wow.
Which is brilliant. We had a few drivers coming in who crashed, and we had Rick and Lifebout throughout the stream. So thank you to you both. And I mean, wow, what a start to the season! I'm seeing nothing but congratulations for Pommy Alex, and also people saying they really enjoyed the race in the chat, which is lovely to see. and long may it continue. Tier 2, back to its best.
Yes, it certainly is. I remember the first race of Tier 2, first time out commentating. Look how far we've come in that time. Another big thank you to our sponsor, Positive Perception Media Design Products. We appreciate their support always, and make sure you go and give them all the love and support you can on their socials, and check out some awesome car liveries while you do so. Next week we're going to Imola for a race around the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix circuit, with lots of chicanes and a very difficult place to overtake. For certain, we have 8 rounds of this championship. We're 1 round down, 7 to go. We will be going all the way through to the 5th of July. So make sure you keep on board with all of the action that is yet to come from Tier 2. But that is going to do us for this evening, everybody. It's been a pleasure having you all, and it's been a pleasure to bring you the maiden win for Pommy Alex, the People's Champion, who is definitely winning the season this year. And I've definitely jinxed him just now in those words. Please do immortalise those and bring them back to bite me later on. But anyway, I'll stop rambling on about the race, and I will say I have been Sumo.
And I have been Ghost.
And we will see you next week for some Tier 2 action in Imola. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.